Welcome to Alley 55 Customs. Today I'm going to show you a problem that this customer is having. If you can hear it, there's a low whine going on. It increases when you step on the gas. That is your power steering pump. Majority of the time is your power steering pump. But I'm going to show you something with the Land Rover LR2s from 2008, I believe, through 2012. What they have, so where your reservoir sits. Now this is a cheap, inexpensive way to fix the issue before you go to your power steering pump itself. So your power steering reservoir, a lot of people don't know this, but it actually has a filter that sits down inside. It's a permanent filter that cannot be removed. You have to change out the entire cartridge. So you have to just change out the whole entire unit. And when that gets plugged, it restricts the transfer of fluid, of power steering fluid, down into the power steering pump itself. Now, you can see down inside there. See, that's a filter that sits down inside there. It's raised up, and if that gets plugged, it restricts the flow to the middle. Let's see here, to the middle right here. It restricts the flow going out. So that is a main cause of a lot of these things. I found that these things, when they get plugged up, it makes the same identical sound. So to start with, it's super easy to change out, and honestly, you don't really need a OEM one for this. The customer just wanted me to go with just an aftermarket. This is 25 bucks on eBay, and so let's go ahead and swap this out, and we'll start here. Okay, so you don't have a whole lot of things that actually can screw up a system. You've got your rack and pinion that actually turns your wheels from left to right. You got your power steering pump itself. You got the lines that run up to your reservoir and back down into your rack and pinion. And a rack and pinion for this is not cheap at all. I mean, a rebuilt one is about $600. I just got done replacing one, and the power steering pump is, they're running around $250 to $400. Depends if you go aftermarket or if you go OEM. So this is the cheapest way to go right now, just to see if this filter, you're not out too much money. If the filter's bad, let's get that thing replaced. So what you want to do, just pull straight up, and you'll have two lines that run in the bottom here. So you're going to have to disconnect both of those. You also want to get something down below this, like a rag or something, and maybe something underneath your car so it can catch most of this power steering fluid that's going to be running out. And let me take that off, and I'll get right back to you. All right, so when you start installing this, do the middle one first. Make sure that you get it so it clicks, and it has to seat all the way up to the bottom of the reservoir tank itself, and you will hear a click. So if you move, you can move the reservoir back and forth to get it to go down a little easier, and then it'll just pop into place. And once you hear that click, then it's a positive lock. If you do not hear the click, then redo it and get that sound of a click, because if it's not all the way up there and in place, you're going to start sucking air back into the system, and it's just going to keep that that power steering pump having air in there, and it's just going to cavitate and make a whining sound and all that. So go ahead and put that on there, make sure it clicks, and then go ahead and install your other tube, and then we can go ahead and mount that up just like that. And the other thing too is, if you look at the old reservoir, I mean, there's a lot of nastiness down inside there, so it's a good thing that you're changing it out anyways. Again, it's not that expensive. See, you can see all that gunk all built up in there, and it's a good possibility that the filter is somewhat plugged or all the way plugged. So go ahead, get yourself a new one, put it on there, and let's finish this up and see if we can't get it bled out. All right, so here's the old one that has been taken out, and the new one, which we're going to put in. Now on the bottom of these, when you take this off, the one side is just going to be a clamp that you have to slide down the rubber tube, and then it just pulls right straight off. This one, on the other hand, locks in place, and so it comes back and it locks in here. And let me show you. So if you look down here, so here's the one that you'll just slide right off, and there's your clip. So just pull your clip down your rubber tube. And then what you're gonna do is, this one has its own little, there's a button right on the back side. You can kind of see it right there. And what you do is you press that in. So you push in on that and pull straight down, and then it'll just come right off. And you know, so again, you just push in on the back side of this and then pull straight down. So let's go ahead and get that installed. Just put it in the reverse way that you took it off. So I'll be right back. All right, so once you installed your lines and you get it all put back together, go ahead and fill it up. The engine's cold. You have to check this when it's cold. It even says it on the outside of your bottle. And go ahead and fill it up to the maximum line, and just don't exceed that. And you want to just keep it in between the minimum and the maximum. And I just use this style here. It's about 25 bucks for a quart, but that's very good for a Land Rover, German. You know, this is a German-made product here. And if you don't have your Land Rover close by your house, if you do, obviously use the Land Rover power steering fluid. But this stuff works perfectly fine in the system. So let's go and start it up. All right, so I went ahead and started the engine, and there's 3 different ways that you can actually bleed the air out of your system. One is with this nice little handy vacuum pump by Mighty Vac. I did a video on this, so if you look at my other videos, you'll see this product in use. And then, you know, you have a little plunger there that goes in, and it just sucks the air out of the system. You just pump this thing up, you know, and then you can bring it up to around 20 pounds of vacuum, sorry. And the other way too is you can sit there. If you don't have one of these, you can start the engine. One of the best things to do though is raise your tires off the ground. Use floor jack to get underneath it. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn the steering wheel from side to side. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn the steering wheel from side to side, just back and forth. And you keep doing it until all the air is evacuated from the system. And then what ends up happening, you'll hear the howl of that power steering pump. It'll it'll stop howling. So just. All right, so another option that you can do too is, as long as the front end is raised off the ground, you can unlock your steering wheel, do not start your engine, and then just go ahead and start running your steering wheel slowly back and forth. Because if you go fast when the engine's not running, you'll have a ton of overflow of the power steering fluid all over the ground, and then you're gonna have to keep on refilling. But this does work really well. And if you want to have somebody looking inside the power steering reservoir to make sure that the bubbles are coming up, that's also helpful. But the way I'm going to do it today is I'm actually going to take the Mighty Vac and I'm going to run 20 inches of vacuum on it, and then I'm going to come in here, start the engine, and I'm going to rotate the steering wheel back and forth, and usually around 20 times, you know, fully back and forth, corrects the issue. And if for some reason this power steering reservoir doesn't work for you, it will be almost 100% guaranteed it's your power steering pump itself. I just wanted to show you the easy, cheap, inexpensive way to fix it, and without getting into, you know, more expense. I've actually fixed about 3 of these Land Rovers just by changing out that reservoir due to the clogged filter. So anyways, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I do a ton of videos on a weekly basis, and I also do a bunch of free giveaways. So thank you very much. Hope this helped you.